The episode starts with the man giving papers to Ishita. She thanks him and goes. She asks, Roman, did he get his file? He says, you did an amazing work, Jansi Kirani. She asks, Jansi Kirani? He says, I told this before. She asks him, whom did he call this before? Maybe his GF. He says, don't know, and goes. She says, I hope you recall me soon. Simi says, Roman and Ishita can't help. Roman comes home and asks Mr. Bala what did he do, that house is mortgaged. They get shocked. Simi asks, when did this happen? Roman says, I got to know this at registrar office. Mr. Bala checks the papers and says, who did this? Roman asks Simi, does she not know about this? Don't worry, I will find out. Simi says, someone from family did this. Ishita says, who can do this? Roman says, don't know. Simi comes and says, I need to talk to you in private. He asks her to say in front of Ishita, Dad trusts her. Simi says, I don't trust her. He asks her, does she have to say anything or not? She says, I think Romy has stolen the papers. He has signed divorce papers and said he will arrange alimony. Roman and Ishita say Romy can't do this. Simi says, we know he can stoop to any level for his motive. Roman says, I will not leave him. He asks, where is Romy? Romy comes and asks, what's the matter? Roman asks, did you mortgage the house papers, yes or number? Romy says, I didn't. Roman says, you did this to give alimony to Mihika. Romy asks, why will I do this? Who told this to you? Roman says, Simi. Romy scolds Simi. They argue. Romy says, Simi and Parmeet are fooling you to get everything in their hands. Parmeet asks, did I do this? You mean I have mortgaged the house? Romy says, Parmeet has the papers. Parmeet says, okay, prove it. I won't let anyone insult me. Simi defends Parmeet. Parmeet says, I want to know who did this. We will know this. Romy asks him to do whatever he feels like. Ada says, wait. No need to ask anyone. I have mortgaged the house. They all get shocked. Romy asks, what are you saying? Roman slaps Ada. He scolds Ada. Alia asks Ishita to stop. Roman, Ada's saving her. Ishita asks you. Alia says, I had mortgaged the house. I needed a loan. I got addicted to gambling. Ishita gets shocked. She says, you didn't share this with me. Alia says, stop Roman, I will tell you everything. Ishita stops Roman. Roman shouts on Ada. Ishita says, I will talk to Ada. He will give me the details. Mr. Bala says, Ishita is right. We need to stop the person from doing registration on his name. Roman says, I will talk to my lawyer. Ishita takes Ada along. Alia says, it's not Ada's fault. Ishita scolds her. Alia says, sorry, I didn't wish to do this. It wasn't serious. I wanted to distract myself as Ada didn't have time for me. He didn't ask me my interested. My friends used to say my luck is good. I didn't know I will get addicted. I had to borrow a loan. I didn't want to hurt anyone. I am really sorry, Ada. Ishita asks, will anyone sort out by crying? You know your big mistake. Ada, why weren't you able to stop Alia? Ada says, she promised me every time and did same thing. Who could have I informed? You know the situation. Roman isn't well. I have taken much loan and sold her jewelry too. Manny helped us in repaying loans. Ishita gets angry on them. Simi comes to taunt Ishita. Ishita says, I have to help children. She asks them not to discuss this with anyone. She leaves. Simi asks them and doesn't get any answer. Shagun and Manny come to meet. Shagun asks, is everything fine? Ishita asks her to ask Manny. He didn't tell about Alia's matter. How could he encourage it? Alia is into gambling. She has taken big loans. Shagun asks Manny, why didn't he tell her? Manny says, I thought this matter has ended. Ishita says, matter went out of hands. Alia has kept Mr. Bala's ancestral house mortgaged. Shagun says, I thought Ada has an affair. He was meeting that girl for money. Why didn't you inform me, Manny? Roman and Romy come. Ishita says, I need to say something. Alia apologizes. Ada says, we have to clear this mess. We can take Ishita's help. Come, stop crying. Roman says, how dare they do this? Manny says please help me in solving this matter. Think well, we need to unite. Yashita says they have realized their mistake. We need the papers back. We have to find a way. Ad and Alia come. Yashita says sorry, I had to tell them, they will also help. Alia says sorry. Shagun scolds her. Ada says my wife is in trouble, I will always be there for her. Yashita says we have to get the papers back. Alia tells her about her friend's party where they can meet that man. Yashita and Shagun ask her to call her friend. Alia messages her friend and says she replied, she is sorry. She can't invite me in the party. The party has a limited guests list. Maybe they know I don't have money to gamble. Yashita says I have an idea.